Hello, fellow players of Hero Wars. I'm Jay. Welcome to Jay vs. Hero Wars. Today I'll be talking about how I go about activating my totems when I'm battling in Guild Wars, depending on what team I'm using, and I will be doing this and demonstrating it through the use of the manual option, right, with maxed Titans in the Guild chat. So that's kind of how I'm going to go about it. I'm really focusing on players who have similar Titan attack levels as well as totems, and basically how that approach can work and what things you should be looking for and how you can basically prepare for different encounters when you're in that matchup. So without further ado, let's check it out. Alright guys, so here we are in game. We're talking about Titan matchups, when we should and shouldn't use totems, right? So, well, A, you should probably always use totems. The thing that you should probably consider is the timing of the totem. So, couple notes here. One is I'm going to do a maximum manual challenge. So this is based off of all max Titans. And so this assumes that you have your Titans at a similar level and totem fragment level, or, basically similar stats to your opponents, or you have a slight advantage. So that's typically when you're going to be using the approach I'm using here, because there are a bunch of different approaches depending on if your team is exponentially weaker than your opponent, and so on and so forth. So here I'm focusing on if your team's powers are similar in terms of totem strength, here, and Titan team strength, or if you're ahead. So here we go. Here's a water defending team. So we have all the water Titans and a Raji. Raji makes a lot of sense because you're going to have a lot of earth teams attacking a water team. So this is a pretty standard water team I would see. So here's a water team. Now, we're going to go with an earth team, and that's the whole point of this, is to show the timing of when to use an earth totem. I'm going to go with a Raji as well because I like a Raji's speed up effect, which allows my Titans to attack a little bit faster. Hyperion, right, grants that ability to heal. I personally like Araji a little bit more in this particular matchup. So we're going to go for it here. I'm going to speed up combat just so that they can hit each other a little bit here, gain some energy all around. We're going to let Angus go off as soon as he possibly can. And we're going to save our totem here. We're not going to activate it just yet. And we're going to go ahead and wait on Araji as well because Sigurd shields up. I did activate my totem a little bit early. You really want to be activating it right before Nova activates her stun, but here it doesn't seem to quite matter. And here you can see we've pretty much won the matchup already. Araji's going to go off. Now Hyperion's the only real Titan standing. And if I can activate Avalon there, we have a pretty easy win. We can activate our totem after this. And that's pretty much game over. Auto, speed up combat, that's it. So really the things you want to look out for mainly is Nova's stun. So Nova has a very, very annoying stun skill that can totally mess up a team. You want to activate your Earth Totem right when that happens, because, or right before, like I did. I mean, I did it a little bit early, but you do want to do it before Nova stuns your team, because the barrier that the Earth Totem provides nullifies that effect entirely. And the other thing that you want to keep in mind here is when you have a Raji, don't just auto have him on attack, because sometimes Sigurd shields up. So when that shield is up, you're dealing no damage. So you don't want to waste a really powerful attack when Sigurd's shield is still up. Okay, so next we're going to go with a Earth Team defense. And we're going to assume that they have Raji in. Could put in Hyperion. No, we can do either. I think Raji's a little bit more effective overall. But I think it depends on either way. It shouldn't ultimately really matter. So there's an Earth Team. And we're going to go with a Fire Team here. And here I'm going to go with Eden. I like the fact that Eden can drag an enemy underground for a short period of time. And so we'll go for that. Granted, right, if the Earth Totem is up, then that effect will not kick in, unfortunately. It'll be nullified. So here we go. I think I picked the wrong type of matchup, so we're gonna redo this. Sorry, 1 second here. We need to do a manual and a maximum. So let's go ahead and do this again. So Earth with Araji, and we're attacking with a fire team, and we're having Eden as our Super Titan of choice. So you're going to speed things up a little bit here, but the important thing is two things to note. So one is obviously your fire totem. When to fire it off, you probably don't want to do it until the enemy's totem goes off. So here I'm just going to allow Moloch to hit. We're going to wait for the Ancient Mountains to go a little bit, and we're going to activate it. We don't really want to activate Araji too early if we don't have to, and so now I'm going to activate him. And Ignis, right, if we can get Ignis to go off while the Storm is in play, it deals extra damage, which is really nice. Unfortunately, we got the skill off a little bit late, and now we're in a tough fight here, but hopefully we can activate Ignis at the same time as the Fire Totem, which will give us the edge here, I'm hoping. And if not, it should ultimately work out because we already have Eden stunning Sylvia there. And there's that. So you are able to win. You can probably do it a lot cleaner than that as well if you time it up a little bit better. But ultimately, you're trying to use that Fire Storm to take out the Earth shield that is covering the Earth Titan. So that's kind of the whole idea there, as well as you can, right? And I didn't do it effectively in my demonstration, but you can use Ignis with the power up on the Storm, and I believe you also deal extra damage when that happens. So a couple things to point out there. Also, we have manual and maximum here for the final one, which will be the fire attacking team here. And we can go with, well, we know we're going to attack with the water team. We might as well go with Eden. So this is a fire defending team. Hopefully I picked manual. We did. Okay, good. And so the thing to keep in mind here is when that storm goes off, we want to counter it with our totem essentially if we can. But we want to hold off because you always want to have a slightly higher percentage of your totem available than your opponent if you can. So here with the fire totem, I know that Araji is very, very good. But one of my concerns is health. Araji has some of the lowest health. I think he has the lowest health of all Titans. So we're going to go with Eden here in this attacking formula. So we're going to speed it up a little bit here. A key is to use Sigurd's shield as often as possible. Just being completely transparent there. Sigurd's shield is a huge asset. And we are able to protect ourselves from the taking down of Eden. We want to activate our totem here, but for some reason it's not cooperating, so I have to click with my mouse. So that didn't go perfectly according to plan due to my mouse not allowing my totems. Well, really, I was trying to auto with my fingers there, but for some reason, it didn't want to cooperate. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, this will happen to you occasionally. Sometimes, for whatever reason, right, your keyboard or your mouse and the game are not working in unison. And so here my totem is, I've been clicking on it for a minute and it didn't activate. So that's unfortunate. But we still found a way to win. So that was not the cleanest demonstration. Let's try it one more time. I don't know why our totem did not go off as often as it should have when I was hopefully trying to prompt it using the keys, you know, the QWERTY, right? Actually, it's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But let's see what happens here. Q is the activation of the totem, and it was not going off. Let's see. So hopefully Sigurd 5, perfect, and it went off that time. And we're going to get hit by the storm, no big deal. Now we're going to activate our totem and Nova's stun. Nope, or not. Okay, huge lag. Okay, yeah, hopefully you don't have these similar issues when you are in my shoes, but we were able to do a lot of what we were planning on doing anyway, and now we need to activate this shield. Hyperion's going off. Must also be because I'm getting a lot of notifications from Facebook itself. I guess we could probably auto and speed up at this point. And we won. But I think, I mean, overall, you'll still find the results to be very, very similar. The biggest thing is you want to use that shield as often as possible for Sigurd. You also want to have your water totem build up so that when that fire totem's coming through, crashing with a lot of damage, you want to be able to regenerate health almost as quickly. And actually, the totem also deals damage to the fire team when it's off. So just a couple of things there, and that's also why you want to make sure that the water totem is charged up a little bit more if you can than the fire totem. So hopefully that gives you a brief overview or something to think about when you're trying to activate your totems. Of course, I recommend you practice. That's what I do. I do a lot of practice. Obviously, here it wasn't even perfect, but you don't have to be perfect every single time to continue to win, especially in Guild Wars. In the Tournament of Elements, right? So like up here when you're facing the Lords, there's a lot less room for error, but you can still, try as many times as you want. So I think there's a lot less concern there. Whereas when you're in Guild Wars, right? Let's see, even when I'm using my Earth team, right? So I'm using my Earth team. We go to my actual war here. Let's see, when we attacked on the bridge. So here you can see, right, well, granted, these guys are a little bit, not necessarily the same power, but you can see I did focus on Nova here, and as soon as Nova, well, actually I didn't. So Nova's about to use her stun right there, but she got taken out before she could even use it. If you can do that, that's an even better scenario. But when you're more evenly matched, Nova will be available right after you, essentially, right when you see that, you want to be activating your Earth Totem. But yeah, it will vary from matchup to matchup. With that being said, I hope this was a slightly helpful video, at least in showing how you can go about using your totems and how to effectively attack. Now, on the defensive end, you actually don't have really any options when it comes to Guild Wars, so you kind of just have to set your lineup and see how things go. But with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Feel free to leave a thumbs up and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you guys all in Dominion.